Life can be unpredictable. We may find ourselves facing events that leave lasting marks on our souls. These events, often traumatic, can range from accidents to violence, natural disasters, or even emotional abuse. The pain of these experiences can linger long after the event itself has passed, creating unseen scars that run deep. Trauma doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone, regardless of age, background, or social status. It leaves its mark on our minds and bodies, shaping our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in ways we may not even realize. Understanding trauma is the first step towards healing. Healing from trauma and living with PTSD can feel like navigating a maze in the dark. The path is rarely linear. There are twists, turns, and setbacks along the way. But even in the darkest moments, there is always hope. This video will shed light on the often misunderstood topic of trauma and PTSD. We will delve into the psychological impact of trauma, exploring its effects on both the mind and body. We will discuss common symptoms of PTSD and how they can manifest in everyday life. Trauma speaks a language often unheard, yet deeply felt within the corridors of our being. It's a language of survival, etched into our very biology, shaping how we perceive and respond to the world around us. To truly understand the psychological effects of trauma, we must first learn to decipher this language. Imagine our brains as intricate forests, with neural pathways acting as trails connecting different areas. These pathways, carved through repeated experiences, form the basis of our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Trauma, however, acts like a storm, disrupting these established pathways and leaving behind a trail of chaos. Imagine living in a world where shadows appear menacing and every unexpected sound sends a jolt of fear through your core. This is the reality for many living with the psychological aftermath of trauma. The mind, once a haven of peace and security, becomes a battleground where intrusive thoughts and memories wage war on inner peace. One of the most debilitating effects of trauma is its ability to distort our perception of time. Traumatic memories are not neatly filed away in the past. They intrude on the present, hijacking our senses and transporting us back to the scene of the trauma. These flashbacks can be vivid and terrifying, leaving us feeling as if we are reliving the event all over again. The impact of trauma extends far beyond the confines of our minds. Trauma is not merely a psychological event, it's a deeply embodied experience. The language of trauma is written not just in our thoughts and feelings, but also in the very cells of our bodies. When we experience trauma, our bodies go into survival mode, flooding with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. While this response is essential for survival in the short term, prolonged exposure to these hormones can have detrimental effects on our physical health. Trauma has a way of clinging to us, its tendrils reaching into the present, even when we desperately wish to leave it behind. One of the most distressing aspects of PTSD is the experience of intrusive symptoms, where unwanted memories and feelings resurface, uninvited and unwelcome. Imagine being haunted by vivid flashbacks, where you are suddenly transported back to the traumatic event, feeling the same fear, helplessness, and terror as if it were happening all over again. These flashbacks can be triggered by seemingly innocuous things, a certain smell, a sound, a place, even a passing thought. When faced with relentless intrusive symptoms, it's natural to seek refuge to find ways to shield ourselves from the onslaught of pain. This desire for protection often manifests as avoidance, a coping mechanism where we try to steer clear of anything that might trigger memories of the trauma. We might avoid certain places, people, activities, or even thoughts and feelings that remind us of the traumatic event. We might withdraw from social gatherings, isolate ourselves from loved ones, or engage in numbing behaviors to escape the emotional pain. Imagine living in a world where danger lurks around every corner, where your senses are heightened and your body is constantly braced for impact. This state of hypervigilance is a hallmark of PTSD, keeping the nervous system locked in a perpetual state of fight, flight, or freeze. You might find yourself easily startled by loud noises or sudden movements. You might be hyper-aware of your surroundings, constantly scanning for potential threats, even in safe environments. Sleep might become elusive as your mind races with anxious thoughts, replaying worst-case scenarios. The symptoms of PTSD rarely remain confined to one aspect of a person's life. Instead, they tend to permeate every facet of daily living, casting a long shadow over relationships, work, and overall well-being. The challenges of managing intrusive memories, avoiding triggers, and coping with hyperarousal can feel all-consuming. Relationships often bear the brunt of these challenges. The emotional numbing, irritability, and difficulty trusting that often accompany PTSD can create distance and conflict in even the closest relationships. Loved ones might feel confused, hurt, or frustrated, unsure of how to navigate these changes. Healing from trauma is not a one-size-fits-all endeavor. Just as each individual's experience of trauma is unique, so too is their path to recovery. Thankfully, a diverse array of therapeutic approaches exists, offering a tapestry of healing modalities to address the multifaceted nature of PTSD. These therapeutic approaches are not about erasing the past or pretending it didn't happen. Instead, they aim to help individuals develop a healthier relationship with their trauma, to lessen its grip on their present and future. The goal is to transform the narrative of trauma, shifting from a story of suffering to one of resilience and growth. Imagine a computer freezing, stuck in a loop, unable to process information effectively. This is akin to how trauma can impact the brain, leaving traumatic memories unprocessed and stuck in the nervous system, resurfacing in the form of flashbacks, nightmares, and emotional distress. Eye movement. Desensitization and reprocessing, or EMDR, is a powerful therapeutic approach that aims to unfreeze these stuck memories, allowing the brain to process and integrate them in a healthier way. Developed by Dr. Francine Shapiro, EMDR utilizes bilateral stimulation, typically in the form of eye movements, to facilitate this reprocessing. Our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are intricately intertwined, each influencing the other in a continuous feedback loop. Trauma can disrupt this delicate balance, leading to negative thought patterns, overwhelming emotions, and unhealthy coping mechanisms. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is a widely used therapeutic approach that focuses on identifying and modifying these maladaptive thoughts and behaviors. The underlying premise of CBT is that by changing our thoughts and behaviors, we can change how we feel and respond to challenging situations. Healing from trauma is not merely about seeking professional help. It's also about empowering yourself with practical tools and strategies to navigate the inner world of PTSD. It's about reclaiming your sense of agency, learning to manage challenging symptoms, and gradually building a life filled with peace, purpose, and possibility. Remember, healing is not about erasing the past or pretending it didn't happen. It's about developing a healthier relationship with your trauma, one where its grip on your present and future lessens over time. It's about recognizing that you are not defined by your trauma, and that you have the strength and resilience to move forward. Trauma has a way of keeping us tethered to the past, replaying painful memories and fueling anxieties about the future. Mindfulness offers a powerful antidote to this tendency, gently guiding us back to the present moment, where true peace and healing reside. Mindfulness is about paying attention to the present experience with curiosity and without judgment. It's about noticing our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without getting swept away by them. It's about learning to observe the inner world with a sense of kindness and acceptance, acknowledging that all emotions, even the difficult ones, are a natural part of the human experience. Trauma often thrives in isolation, whispering lies of shame and unworthiness, making us believe we are alone in our pain. One of the most powerful antidotes to this isolation is human connection, the healing balm of feeling seen, heard, and understood. Building a supportive network might feel daunting, especially if trauma has led to a fear of vulnerability or a distrust of others. Start small. reaching out to a trusted friend, family member, therapist, or support group. Sharing your experiences with someone who listens with empathy and without judgment can be profoundly healing. In the heart of human experience lies an unyielding spirit, a capacity for resilience that shines brightest against the backdrop of adversity. The stories of individuals who have navigated the depths of trauma, emerging stronger and more whole, offer beacons of hope, reminding us that healing is not only possible, but also a testament to the indomitable human spirit. Consider the story of Maya, a survivor of a devastating earthquake that claimed the lives of loved ones and left her physically and emotionally scarred. In the aftermath of the disaster, Maya was plagued by nightmares, flashbacks, and a pervasive sense of fear. Simple tasks like leaving her home felt insurmountable. Trauma often silences us, leaving us feeling unheard, unseen, and unable to express the depths of our pain. Yet within each of us lies a wellspring of creativity, a language beyond words that can unlock the doors to healing and self-discovery. Creative expression, in its myriad forms, can be a profound catalyst for transformation, offering a safe and empowering outlet for processing trauma and reclaiming our voices. For some, healing might emerge through the stroke of a paintbrush, translating the language of emotions into vibrant hues and evocative imagery. For others, it might be the rhythmic flow of words on a page, transforming pain into poetry, stories, or song. The journey of healing from trauma is often illuminated by the wisdom and guidance of those who have walked the path before us. Mental health professionals, trauma specialists, and individuals with lived experience offer invaluable insights, reminding us that we are not alone in this journey and that healing is an ongoing process of growth and transformation. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, a renowned trauma expert, emphasizes the importance of addressing the body's response to trauma, stating, "The body keeps the score." He highlights the need for therapeutic approaches that incorporate somatic experiencing, helping individuals reconnect with their bodies, release trapped trauma, and reclaim a sense of safety and grounding. The journey through trauma can feel like navigating a treacherous landscape, shrouded in shadows and fraught with unseen obstacles. Yet even in the darkest of times, a glimmer of hope persists, a flicker of light reminding us that healing is not only possible, but also an inherent part of the human experience. As we've explored throughout this video, trauma leaves its mark on our minds, bodies, and spirits, shaping our perceptions, beliefs, and ways of being in the world. It can shake us to our core, leaving us feeling broken, lost, and uncertain of our place in the world. But it does not have to define us. Trauma can leave us feeling like we're merely surviving, navigating each day with a sense of hypervigilance, fear, and emotional numbing. But healing offers a path to move beyond mere survival and step into a life filled with purpose, meaning, and a profound sense of aliveness. Through the therapeutic approaches we've discussed, the practical tools we've explored, and the inspiring stories we've shared, we've begun to unravel the complexities of trauma and illuminate pathways towards healing. We've learned that seeking professional help is not a sign of weakness, but rather an act of courage and self-care. Imagine a tiny seed buried deep within the earth. It has endured darkness, pressure, and the unknown. Yet, within that seed lies an innate potential for life, a blueprint for growth and transformation. Healing from trauma is akin to nurturing that seed, providing it with the light, nourishment, and care it needs to sprout, take root, and blossom into its fullest expression. The journey of healing is ongoing, a process of continuous growth and self-discovery. There will be times when the ground feels shaky, when doubts and fears threaten to overshadow our progress. But just as a tree weathers storms and emerges stronger, we too can cultivate resilience, learning to bend with the winds of change and stand tall in the face of adversity. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel.